Hey Facebook, good morning. Thank you for joining us on this Facebook Live. I'm Saquon. Don't forget, before we get started, you can always watch this and listen to this on your own time. You can do that by visiting our InForum YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. Sorry, that was the first thing I thought of when I thought of YouTube channel. You can find us on your favorite podcast platform, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and you can also find us on inforum.com/podcasts and click on the InForum Minute, and you'll find us under there as well. Okay, right now you can help Fargo Police in tracking down a woman who is believed to be tied to a shooting at the Mezzo Apartments. If you remember last week on First News, I was actually out there live reporting on a shooting there, and now we have a picture of what she looks like and we have her name. So if you go on inforum.com right now, you can pull up that picture of who we're talking about here, but she is 23-year-old Tarnell Abraham. And again, this is in connection to the shooting at the Mezzo Apartments, right off of 45th Street South there in Fargo. So Abraham is wanted for felony charges of aggravated assault and reckless endangerment. She's accused of intentionally shooting Faridus Corey in the chest through her apartment window, and we're learning this morning that she was holding a 5-month-old baby at that time. This all stemmed from an argument in the parking lot. Apparently, this was due to an alleged affair. So if you see Abraham, again, that picture is on inforum.com right now. If you see her, you are asked to call Fargo Police immediately. Also, there are a few meetings that you might want to know about that could really reshape what parts of Fargo could look like. So, of course, people living in Fargo, this might affect you the most. But the first one involves a pedestrian bridge that would go up right outside of City Hall that would be going over 2nd Street North. And this is just one of several designs being considered. Again, you can find that rendering on our website, inforum.com. I believe it's by JLG Architects. And the idea of that bridge, not really necessarily the design, is going to be the topic of discussion in the City Commission chambers today from 11:30 to 1:30 this afternoon. And then there's going to be a second meeting that's going to be taking place from 4:30 to 6:30 in the City Hall lobby tonight as well. So that's going to be involved. So that's going to be in the City Commission chambers, but in the lobby for that one. Something kind of exciting for you as well. We know that a Fargo family is going to be competing on a popular game show. So we're talking about the Mayhuber family. They're going to be on Family Feud this morning, and we're hearing from the family. They've always been really big fans of the show, right? And so last fall they were like, hey, why don't we give this just a shot? You know, why don't we as a family try to go on Family Feud? This whole thing was a really lengthy process, we're learning. They had 3 different auditions that they had to get through, and the family was like, we didn't think that we would make it on this show, but they got a call back and then they were picked for an episode. So the family, they said that they were pretty nervous, but then Steve Harvey, the host, of course, apparently helped them calm those nerves, which I believe it. Steve Harvey's quite the character there. Also, jumping back to the meeting, sorry, I should have organized this a little bit better. There's also going to be another meeting later today to discuss the future of Main Avenue in Fargo. So the city and the North Dakota DOT will be presenting some improvements for the stretch of road right from University to 25th Street South. So that's going to involve replacing sidewalks as well as the storm sewer, sanitary, and water mains. New light traffic signals as well would be installed. And so that's going to be an open house for that meeting from 6 to 8 tonight in the City Hall Commission chambers. Formal presentation starting at 6:15 tonight. We had an update, a really big update to a story that we first brought you yesterday here on First News. We know that Fargo Police have now arrested a suspect believed to be tied to a fire right near NDSU's Theta Chi fraternity. 29-year-old Jacob Metcalf was arrested not long after that fire happened. And we know that police were able to figure out that it was Metcalf because he left his keys and his wallet. His keys right by the scene there. Officers are saying they believe he was intoxicated. Metcalf was arrested on 1 count of arson. He was also wanted in relation to a different fire case. There were 2 other fires in that area, just blocks of each other. Police are still investigating this, so we'll let you know what happens. Also, the dispute over the potential new location of an adult entertainment store will now be heading to court following the Fargo City Commission's decision to block the store from moving. So it voted 4-1 last night to deny a change of use permit for the Syndicate building. The permit was denied because city leaders believe that the store falls under its mixed use code. Well, now that decision has forced Romantix to take the city to court. Their attorneys saying the city is giving them different information when it comes to zoning requirements. So we'll let you know how that plays out in court. Also, a group that's against that Fufeng development in Grand Forks has now filed a notice of appeal to the Supreme Court. So that lawsuit comes, of course, after the city rejected this petition that gained 5,000 signatures. And again, that was to allow the people actually living there to vote on this whole controversial project. But the district did rule eventually that the petition is invalid. So now that group behind that petition is taking it to the state level. So the group is hoping that the state court will correct the district court's efforts of dismissing citizens, in their words. Okay, if you have a dog, this is kind of exciting. So your dog can actually drink beer. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, what are you talking about? Are you out of your mind? No, I'm not. I'm actually not. Bush Beer might be, because they're the ones debuting this limited edition dog brew for the winter holiday season. So again, going back to the topic of, are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? Well, the whole drink is obviously non-alcoholic. So your canine won't turn clumsy and start stumbling around the room. But the can also features 3-year-old rescue pup. Her name is Kira from Pearl, Minnesota, which I thought was really neat. Our photographer Travis kind of pointed that out today when we were brainstorming early this morning before our show, and he thought it was interesting that it has local ties, which is very true. So Kira was voted for by fans to be printed on the turkey flavor of the drink. I just think it's funny, like a turkey flavored beer, but obviously it's meant for dogs, so that kind of makes sense. But we did check this morning. If you go on Bush's website right now and you want a 4-pack of these, it'll cost you about $15. So maybe a good holiday gift for your puppies. Also today, we know right now President Joe Biden actually has officially kicked off the application process for his student debt cancellation program. So we're hearing from the president, 8 million borrowers had already applied for loan relief during the federal government's soft launch, which actually happened over the weekend. Biden says that the number of borrowers who applied already amounts to more than 1/4 of the total number of applicants that the administration had projected. You know what that kind of reminds me of? Kind of reminds me of the hero paychecks in Minnesota, where they were, projecting a certain number, and then all of a sudden they had an influx of these people applying, and it was way higher than what they had expected. So it kind of reminds me of that situation, at least. But yeah, so we know that it's a lot higher than the number of applicants that they actually had originally projected. But he's backing that down by saying that the administration will make sure this relief process goes smoothly as more Americans sign up. We are learning that it should be about 4 to 6 weeks before borrowers see their debt forgiven once they, get their applications approved. So if you or anyone you know would like to sign up for loan relief, all you have to do is go on studentaid.gov. Studentaid.gov. Okay, Hot Mic with Dom Izzo, 9 to 11, WDAY Extra, InForum.com. I'll be honest, I'm not exactly sure what Dom will be talking about, but I have a pretty good idea. If you didn't know, Bison quarterback, or at least former Bison quarterback, Carson Wentz is now sitting on the sidelines, out for a little while as he recovers from an injury. He just got surgery, so I'm sure he'll talk about that a little bit. And really big news out of NDSU's football team. Spoles, wide receiver there, just announced he will be leaving the team. He is entering the transfer portal, looking for some different opportunities. So really big news, obviously, coming out of the Bison football team there. And I'm sure Dom will be touching a little bit on that this morning on his show, Hot Mic, which is on from 9 to 11, WDAY Extra, InForum.com. Also on InForum.com right now, if you go on it, you're probably going to be greeted with a headline right away, right on the front page that says, Fargo City Commissioner Piepkorn stripped of role as deputy mayor. This is something we brought you yesterday as well, how they were going to talk about doing that, and this all stems from some comments that he made tying, Native Americans in downtown Fargo to the Downtown Engagement Center. So those were pretty controversial, as commissioners have been saying, and they did vote to have a different commissioner, step into this new role. So if you'd like to read up on that, you can certainly do so right now on our website, InForum.com. All right, that's all I got for you today, but don't forget, for 99 cents a month for your first 3 months, you can get an all-access pass to InForum.com. Here's how you do it, InForum.com/subscribe. That's all you got to type in. All right, everybody, that's it for us. Don't forget, we do still have coverage throughout the day. We got our 11 o'clock newscast in about 2 hours, and then our coverage continues in the evenings, starting at 4, going to 5, 6, 9, and 10. We will be back here tomorrow morning on First News from 5 to 7, so hope you can join us. Have a great day.